Hi, I'm Anjana from Impact Magazine, and today we have with us Ms. Saloni Anand, the co-founder of Traya Health, a brand that has been making waves in the market, and that too in a very short span of time. Thank you so much, Saloni, for joining us today.
Thanks, Anjana. I'm really looking forward to this chat.
Same here. So let's start with the beginning. Tell us how was Traya born, and how did the idea came out, and what were the challenges that you have faced in scaling the business?
So Traya is born out of a personal experience. My husband, who is also my co-founder here at Traya, went through a series of chronic health issues like thyroid, hair loss. We realized that there is very little that allopathy offers when it comes to chronic health issues.
Right.
Right? For example, for thyroid, there is a pill that you have to take all your life. However, there is a lot more that you can do about these chronic diseases if you look at Ayurveda or you look at naturopathy or you look at food as a medicine.
Right.
And that's what we did. We were forced to sort of try more things because the thyroid was not under control at all. And I think the whole philosophy of holistic science was born, where we combined all of this. And Traya in Sanskrit means three science.
Oh.
It combines the goodness of Ayurveda, allopathy, and nutrition. So the idea is born out of our own personal struggle. Altaf was able to regrow his hair while working on his body and on his thyroid. So the fundamental that if your body is right, if your gut functions correctly, your nutrition is right, your hormone is in balance, your doshas are in balance, your hair should be great. And if it's the other way around, which means if you have hair fall, hair loss, balding, it could be genetics, it could be whatever, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that it's accelerated at a certain speed and the fact that people who should get balding at 70-year-old age are getting at 25-year-old, something inside is wrong.
Right.
And when we understood this, we realized that there's a huge gap in how the industry currently solves hair issues and how it should be solved. And just to solve that gap, we started Traya. In terms of scaling, I think because Traya is so unique, we don't sell products. We are not a product company. You have to first take a Traya hair test. There's a diagnosis. After the hair test, we build a customized regime. It's a kit. The kit has something from allopathy, something from Ayurveda, and a diet.
It's really interesting.
And this is approved by a doctor before it gets shipped to you. So it's like in the physical world, meeting three doctors and getting your treatment together, all happening online. So it was very difficult to explain to people why all this, right? And why not a oil? People kept saying, "Yaar, shampoo tel de do. Ye kyun itna zyada tamjham?" Right? But we understood that people end of the day want hair regrowth, and whatever is in the market, shampoos and oils, is not regrowing hair. So we chased efficacy, and I think the biggest challenge was to explain people or rather educate them that what they have been doing so far is not the right way to treat hair.
I think sometimes these products they make it worse.
Absolutely. I think they are so superficial. And I think the years of marketing that has been thrown at people, it's kind of, they believe that this is the only sort of thing. Hair matlab tel de do, shampoo de do, uske alawa nahi.
So, Saloni, you've gone from being an engineer to an MBA grad and now an entrepreneur, leading a business, leading a fastest growing health tech business, actually, hair care business. So, what are some of the lessons that you have learned in your journey?
I think number one, if I can do it, anybody can. I think it starts with believing and being more ambitious. So I've learned to be more ambitious. I never now dream of small things, which is a drastic mindset shift that I had to do, number one. Number two, there are certain characteristics which are related to your personality, say your ability to take risk, your ability to be fearless. Sometimes we underrate these. And as an entrepreneur, I realized that some of these characteristics are way more important than, say, intelligence.
Absolutely.
Or IQ, because it's these things that sort of really, whether it's resilience, fearlessness, it is these characteristics that help you solve any problem that's thrown at you, right? So I think that was my second learning.
Okay, great. So, Saloni, we all have been hearing about minoxidil. It has been the go-to treatment for hair loss for
Years
years,
now, yeah.
actually. Yeah. So, how is Traya changing the way people think about what actually works for hair loss or hair care?
Yeah, I think what Traya has done is a really big step in the hair industry, because since 1980s, I mean, every doctor across the world has been relying on minoxidil as a molecule. While Traya utilizes minoxidil, we do not use minoxidil. So minoxidil is part of the Traya kit. However, along with minoxidil, like I said, right, our philosophy is to combine sciences. We put in Ayurveda, we put in nutraceutical, so we put in hair vitamins, we put in a lot of herbs that work on internal root causes of hair loss. And what has happened by that is that the efficacy of minoxidil, so we've done a clinical study that has now proven that Traya kit delivers 3x better hair growth results than what using a minoxidil would have, which is very interesting because it really, with data and clinical research, now shows that the belief that we had that combining is better than using one is now proven through this clinical research.
So, Saloni, as you just mentioned about the clinical study, what are some of the surprising or rather interesting findings from that study?
So I think first thing which was very surprising is that, like I said, minoxidil is a gold standard, right? There has not been any research in the last 20-30 years that has done against a 5% minoxidil, which is a very good concentration of minoxidil, for a duration for 6 months plus. So we designed the study in a way where it is the highest quality of study. It was done only on people who are balding, which means it's not a mild hair fall. It's studied to see whether regrowth is possible or not. And the study is done for a duration of 6 months. The study was done by an independent clinical research organization, a CRO. And for 2 years, we had no idea what's happening because we designed it in a way where we did not want the brand to interfere in any way. When the results came in, we knew through our data that adding the Traya's kit is turning out to be better than using a minoxidil, but to be able to see 3x better density on a per inch follicle, and even the measurement is done in the strictest manner using a trichoscan. So what trichoscan does, it marks the area of your bald patch and then measures the new follicles that have come in over the period of time. So to be able to see that big a delta, I think was very surprising and very exciting as well, because a lot of people believe that baal ek baar chale gaye to dobara nahi aate. Which is completely wrong. It's absolutely possible. Of course, there are certain conditions to it, how advanced your stage is, what is your age, etc. But if you have active follicles on your head, they can very well be regenerated.
Okay, great. So, Saloni, as you also mentioned that Traya combines Ayurveda, dermatology, and nutrition as well. But it is also very deeply data driven. So, how are you using customer data to kind of give personalized solution to the customers?
Everything that we do here at Traya is data and technology, from diagnosis to prescription to be able to use 80 dermatologists across the scale that we have has been able to is possible. That kind of scaling is possible only because of tech and data. So it's very difficult to answer where we use data because we use it everywhere. But I think the cherry on the cake that data brings in, which is a very important outcome for us, which is how many people who start Traya see results, which is the most important metric at Traya, is adherence and habit building. So hair regrowth takes time. It takes 5 to 6 months. Now, a lot of Traya's success is not just our formulations and our unique approach of mixing three science, but it's also the tech, data, and people and process that we've built to help people reach the 5th month mark. Even if I'll, give you the best formulation, I'll say, take this, take home. But if you don't have this every day and you don't consume it, which is the biggest problem, medical adherence, people give up.
Yeah.
Especially in a thing where there's no instant gratification, right? So we use data across our channels to help people, be accountable, motivate, and make them sort of habitual to using this regime. And once they start feeling healthy, the first signs of success in Traya is not hair regrowth. It's you start to feel healthy, more energetic, your gut improves, your sleep improves. It's health first, hair follows. So I think we use data to push people and make sure that more people reach the finish line.
I think the biggest problem, as you mentioned here, is following a routine. Basically.
Absolutely.
That's the challenge. So, Saloni, tell us a bit about your Question the Claim campaign. How do you think it's helping build trust in a world right now where people are generally, skeptical about things?
I don't know about trust, but I'm extremely passionate about this campaign. When I got into the hair industry, like I did not belong to this industry, right? I came from a very different background. But when I got into the depth, and I was fortunate enough to, work with some of the best R&D folks in the country to build the formulations that we build here, both from Ayurveda and allopathy background, I realized how shallow the hair industry is. So when a shampoo says 99% hair fall reduction in 4 washes, I know why it's legally right. I know the loopholes, but I also know why ethically it's so wrong. Right? And I really sort of the first response to looking at this industry was to build Traya and launch a brand that's very honest, very ethical, does very high quality investment in clinical research so that our claims are of the highest quality. But then over a period of 5 years, I realized honestly that it's not enough. There's a lot of literacy and education that needs to be done on how to read labels.
Right.
How to know whether, what are the gimmicks people are playing with you. When they write 99% reduction in hair fall, how do they write it? When they say onion on the bottle, is there even any onion in the bottle? Right? So there's a lot of education that needs to be done, and I think I'm very, very excited to share my learnings of how brands function to people so that they can take a more informed choice to what they want for themselves in their hair.
Right, actually, education is much needed in this space. I think hair care is something where customers generally follow everything that is there. Like TV pe ye dikha diya, to they'll do this.
Absolutely. Har jagah. I mean, there's information overload everywhere.
Right. So, as we know, hair loss affects so many people. It's across gender, across age groups. So, how do you go about identifying your target audience, your ideal customer profile?
So, Traya's ideal customer profile is somebody who is genuinely suffering through hair loss. And when I say genuinely, it is not, hey, I have great hair but mild hair fall, right? Maybe they don't need a treatment. Losing some hair is absolutely normal. So we very clearly tell this as a brand that we are not a hair care brand. We are a hair treatment brand. If you have hair fall that's serious, if you have hair that's receding, if you have hair where you have a crown patch coming in for men, and for women, your hair is thinning, it's then requires a treatment. It does not just hair care, which is shampoo, conditioner, oiling is not going to be enough. So we very clearly use our content and our communication to choose our core TG, which are people who are suffering through a hair fall, hair loss problem, which requires a treatment, not a cosmetic hair care product.
Okay, great. So, Saloni, your podcast, you've been doing this podcast, What the Health, and it has been touching on stories around hair, lifestyle, experiences. So, what made you want to start it in the first place?
So, as a brand, we've always, in the hair space, the first sort of brand to come out and share honest truths, bust myths, tell people that, how ingredient marketing is wrong and how you need to sort of look at efficacy. So we did that in the hair space, and then we realized that as a brand, we stand for bringing honest, expert content out there and help change the wrong belief system that exists in the society. And then we said, why just hair? Let's extend this to health.
Right.
Because hair is so deeply related to so many things in the body, your hormones, your sleep, your stress, your gut, everything is related to hair. So we kind of own a space where we can talk about health. And hence we started What the Health. We bring in doctors, experts of each field and help give very authentic information to people, because in an era where there's information overload, with everybody, somebody saying have juice in the morning, somebody saying don't have juice in the morning. Can we go out and bring perspective to why juice is good in the morning or not good in the morning, and what does allopathy say and what does Ayurveda say, and how can we become like a channel where we can get authentic health information? So that was the goal of What the Health.
Okay, great. And also, Traya has been growing steadily, as we all know. What's next for the brand? Are there any new health or wellness issues that you're planning to address?
So there's a lot of R&D happening in other health issues. We'll see what gets launched when. But something that I'm really excited about is, one, Traya has gone international. So we're hoping to take this beautiful science of Ayurveda, which is a very important pillar of the 3 pillars here at Traya, to the world. And second, Traya has launched offline clinics. We have about 5 clinics now in Pune, and we will expand from there, where it's a one-of-a-kind experience all around hair. It's not a clinic where you would be sold treatments like PRP and hair transplant. It's a clinic where you would be sold a treatment that works inside out, makes you healthy during this journey and helps you get great hair back. So I think what we've been doing online, we felt it was a need of the hour to also be present offline with our team of hair coaches and doctors there for people to sort of consult face to face and get started.
Okay, that's really interesting. And just a curious question: why Pune? Why not Bombay?
Well, multiple business reasons. Pune is a very interesting city, a lot of young population. Average age of a consumer that faces hair loss is a 27-year-old boy.
Okay.
So the demography suits really well. The real estate cost is not as expensive as Mumbai to get started. If Pune works out really well, we know that we can apply that model to multiple other cities, because there are more Punes in this country than more Mumbais in this country.
Right.
So if a model works in Mumbai, we will not know how to replicate it to other locations.
Makes sense.
So yeah, multiple such reasons.
Okay. And also, you just mentioned about your global expansion. So, which are the current global market that you're tapping?
So we are evaluating multiple global markets. We've already launched in the Middle East, and we're still sort of finding our feet to international, but very, very excited on how that pans out.
Okay, great. And lastly, going forward, what will be your key focus areas for the brand?
I think the focus has always been customer first. We are here to not sell, not make money. We are here to help the consumer. So we'll continue to do that. Continue to focus on efficacy. How can we further improve the efficacy? And while we do that, how do we really deliver the best customer experience where the consumer really feels taken care of through this journey of growing hair? Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Saloni. It was lovely having this conversation.
Thank you so much.